Hey, and welcome back. This is Watertown365, where we tell you what is happening in the Watertown city, town, and area. These are the latest scoops, news, and stories, and 2 business highlights that you have to watch out for in the later part of this episode. We're going to be speaking about how the Watertown Regional Medical Center recently announced the addition to its cardiac services. There is an upcoming Watertown Park and Recreation activity happening in the remaining months of 2022. The Greater Watertown Community Health Foundation is getting a massive donation from philanthropist Mackenzie Scott. So you are going to want to buckle up, dive in, and just jump into what we're talking about. And the first news story, I just put it in the browser and it's not coming up. So we're going to have to correct the link really quickly here on the fly. All right, we fixed the link. And now we are going to be talking about how the Watertown Regional Medical Center is adding to its cardiac services. They have added electrophysiology to the services it provides at the Heart and Vascular Clinic. Dr. Marcie Berger, MD, here she is, says that electrophysiology is the study of electrical patterns of the heart, and an electrophysiologist is a doctor who specializes in treating cardiac problems related to those patterns. Now, this is different than a cardiologist or interventional cardiologist who focuses on the mechanical function of the heart. And so, an electrophysiologist deals with arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, ventricular fibrillation, and this is something that's interesting for you to know about. And so a patient will be seen by an electrophysiologist after a consultation with their primary care physician or a cardiologist. So if you have these kind of weird heart irregularities, you might get sent over to someone such as, what is her name again? Dr. Marcie Berger. And so this is at the Heart and Vascular Clinic inside the Watertown Regional Medical Center at 125 Hospital Drive. And this is just, I guess, a news story that we're talking about and bringing attention to this heart and vascular care because this is new to the hospital area. And at watertownregional.com/heart and vascular care, you can click and take the heart health assessments. You can find out about heart attack symptoms and heart-related treatment options. Now, in this day and age, there are so many innovations happening with medical science, but it's hard to keep up, and they're always trying new things. And if you've ever looked up like how much medical science has advanced in the past 20 years, you're going to be amazed. And so it's good to know that this is out there. In addition to Dr. Fahad Iqbal, who an interventional cardiologist, Dr. Salim Shamo, Dr. Paul Volkert, and Dr. Issam Al-Bitar, and nurse practitioner Beth Pape. So know that this exists, and maybe you or a loved one or an elderly acquaintance has these heart irregularities and may now be seen by an electrophysiologist. Good to be educated. Am I right? I know I am. And speaking of being educated, let's talk about things like the Boo Bash, the Men's Basketball League, cardio kickboxing, since we're mentioning the heart, Little Dunkers basketball, the Fall Ballroom Dance, ballet tap and dance. And now what are all these things we're discussing? Well, these are upcoming Watertown Park and Recreation activities. So Boo Bash in particular is a Halloween bash for ages 4 and up, which is at Monday, October 31st, beginning at 5 p.m. Kids should come dressed in a favorite costume to play lots of fun Halloween-themed games and make spoopy crafts. For those who are 10 and up, there is a zombie versus human capture the flag game from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. So we don't have pictures, but a Facebook page that you definitely should be a part of as someone who lives in or around Watertown is the Watertown Parks and Recreation Department. For some reason, I was logged out of Facebook. That's okay, though. If we get ourselves logged back in and verified on the phone. Let's pull up the Watertown Parks and Recreation Department. Well, while we're waiting for that to work, let's see what other activities that there are so we can unpack a few of these things, right? So as far as the men's basketball league, they're scheduled for Thursday nights at Riverside Middle School. The first game begins 7 p.m. November 3rd. Team fee is $200, which includes a $25 deposit to hold your team's spot and a $5 non-city resident player fee for all players residing outside of Watertown city limits, and the players must be 19 years of age. So now that we're still waiting for that Facebook tab to open, there is an instructional basketball program for boys and girls enrolled in 5K through grade 4 that will be held on Saturday mornings, November 5th, 12th, and December 3rd, 10th, and 17th at Webster School Gym. Now, this stresses basic skills and fundamentals of basketball. If you do sports, if you've known about sports, what's good about it is it there's obviously like the skill itself of the game, but there's also like a mindset thing. There's teamwork, there's managing stress, there's just kind of working towards a goal. There's discipline as far as practicing. Sports are really great for kids, and you start those kids early. That is what Little Dunkers basketball is all about. So for 5K or grade 1, $20. For city residents, $30 for non-city residents. Grades 2 through 4, $25 per city resident, or $37.50 for non-city residents. Now, pre-registration by Wednesday, November 2nd is required. Fall ballroom dance. Learn how to waltz, foxtrot, swing, rumba, and mambo. Classes meet Fridays, October 14th through November 18th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. $30 per couple for city residents and $45 per couple for non-city residents. Ballet, tap, and dance. And they are on Facebook and Instagram. So let's try to get to what we wanted to get to a minute ago. We go to Facebook and search the Watertown Park and Rec Department. You click on the follow button, and this way you can. This is not the correct place. This is Watertown, Wisconsin. So let me unfollow this page because that is definitely, we want the Watertown, and it's good. This is why we do this in video. Okay, so we want this one, the big one, Parks and Recreation Department, City of Watertown, New York. Click on the follow button. And they say they will help improve Thompson Park. They say there is a slip and slide and skate, learn how to skate, and hockey night. So this is a good page to follow, and just a good topic in general to be on your radar, right? Because the time slips away from you if you don't go for it. If you don't have a goal, then the days and the months will just pass by, and you'll wish that you enrolled your little ones into some kind of a social activity or some kind of sports in general. And let's also, okay, so that is what has happened. And I also want to satisfy my curiosity by going to Instagram.com/Watertown Park Rec if you're more of an Instagram photo kind of person. So here are the Boo Bash details in particular. And I need to get logged in there as well. So it looks like, to see the flyer. All right, logging in. So the Boo Bash on October 31st. Cart Park, games, spooky crafts, candy, and capture the flag. parkrec programming@gmail.com or 920-262-8080. All right, next. Watertown Community Health gets $5 million from philanthropist Mackenzie Scott, former wife of Jeff Bezos. So Mackenzie Scott is a novelist and the former wife of CEO Jeff Bezos. She announced she would give $5 million to Watertown Community Health. It's by far the biggest donation since the foundation was created. There is a $55 million gift, and so Mackenzie Scott gave almost $4 billion earlier this year to more than 400 organizations. Her grand total is up to $12 billion, and she donated $85 million to the Girl Scouts, and Watertown is part of what she has donated. Now, this gift will accelerate the foundation's ability to address key priorities, including improving access to desperately needed early care and education and increasing the supply of workforce housing. The foundation recently announced a $16 million investment in a $55,000 square foot former corporate center and 90 adjacent acres along the Rock River on the city's south side. Now, they have plans to transform the campus into a thriving work-live-play neighborhood that models best practices in community connectedness, health, and well-being. Every Child Thrives uses a collective impact approach to create lasting social change. The idea is to focus on the root causes underlying key health issues and to use the collaboration to make more of a lasting impact than each organization might in acting alone. Okay, and so speaking of making an impact, what about you and what about your eyesight? Well, you're going to want to head over to periopticalny.com to check out quality eye care services for Jefferson County. When you feel some pain in your eyes or you can't see clearly, then you need to visit an eye doctor. But choosing an eye specialist is one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make in your life, and that is why Michelle, Dr. Meltza, and Dr. DeTata and staff have been helping you in the North Country see better for more than 30 years. That is periopticalny.com. That's the easiest way to find out about their hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 12, perioptical@yahoo.com, 315-786-0133. They provide optical products, which means that when it comes to concerning your eyes, a minor flaw in a product can cause permanent visual impairment. Where you get your eye products matters. Don't just grab something off the shelf. Go to a professional who can measure you and give you exactly what you need, so that way you're not just guessing. Opticians, your eyes never lie. If your eyes are in pain or you're feeling anxiety behind them, they are plainly trying to say to rest. Now, do you feel a headache coming on near the eyes or on the rear side? Well, you are forcing your eyes, and you need to calm down. So when you feel some pain in your eyes or you can't see clearly, then you need to visit an optician. An optician is an eye expert, and their main job is to help you with an eye problem and find the right pair of prescription eyeglasses and ensure they fit comfortably. And last but not least, optometrist. So there are optometrists, ophthalmologists, and opticians. So an optometrist is an expert who has specialized in eye care, and then an ophthalmologist conducts eye surgery on you, and then an optician is a technician who has specialized in the design, verification, and fitting of devices that correct eyesight, including contact lenses, frames, and lenses in eyeglasses. So now you have your education, right? An optometrist, to recap, is someone that can prescribe drugs to treat diseases that affect eyesight. An ophthalmologist is more of an eye surgeon, and then an optician is someone who can figure out the technical details about contact lenses and eyeglasses. Now, it's very important to visit a specialist in optometry if you experience bulging of the eyes, development of dark curtains that block vision, unusual redness, decreased vision, unusual pain, distorted vision, loss of peripheral vision, double vision, or development of colored circles. And, this is something for you to be aware of because you may be at risk of developing eye complications if you have diabetes mellitus, diseases that affect thyroid glands, excess tearing, misaligned eyes, eyelid abnormalities, HIV/AIDS, or history of eye diseases in the family, and hypertension. Me, just as a lay person, all I know is that your eyes have very, very small blood vessels, little capillaries, and things like that. So if you have any kind of blood problem, such as diabetes, then those those eyes can really be affected. So don't risk it. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Just go to Perry Optical NY and at least get yourself educated and maybe book an appointment or at least contact them, get on their mailing list. You'll be glad that you did, right? Do it now before things get really bad. And speaking of things not being bad, things that are good, the Sackett's Harbor Ballroom. And so we have to kind of make sure to remind ourselves that it's Sackett's with no apostrophe. Someone on the Facebook page complained, and they're 100% right. Remodeled and refurbished in 2018. The Sackett's Harbor Ballroom event venue provides you with a marvelous atmosphere to hold your event, whether it be a wedding, reception, meeting, educational event, family celebration, or Christmas party. Sackett's Harbor offers a unique, clean, accessible, and affordable facility to hold your public or private event. They are your one-stop destination for any event requirement. They are at 103 West Main Street in Sackett's Harbor, New York. Their website is sackettsharborballroom.com. And then their Facebook page, let's try to find a link, is facebook.com/Sackett's Harbor Ballroom. Give them a like, and you'll be able to see some really cool photos, including of the venue and the events they run. This picture here looks like The Shining from the end of the movie. So it's been around for a while, and they've done some pretty amazing historical events that you might want to know. So you can go here, and there are these blog entries where let's see, what the heck happened here? What year was this? So there is, there's so much history as far as the church and the church bells. And if you're a history person or you enjoy genealogy or things like that, then you're going to at least want to go to the Sackett's Harbor Ballroom website. And if you know of anyone who's possibly running some kind of a big gathering, a reception, meeting, educational event, family celebration, or Christmas party, they offer a unique, clean, accessible, and affordable facility to hold your public or private event. You can email them directly at events@sackettsharborballroom.com. Their phone number is 315-646-7145. And what's great about the website, sackettsharborballroom.com, you can just click on the chat on the bottom, and I don't think you can see the chat from where my head is. So if I move my head, see there's a chat button right there, and you can just fill in your details and even enter your mobile phone number, so that way you don't have to stay on the website. You can send the message and then have your phone out there ready for them to respond with the answer to your question. And that's what we're all about here at the Watertown365 weekly podcast. We go right here to Watertown365.com, and here is where we have our various news stories. And there are things that are being discussed here, such as the incredible moment a sea lion swam up to a snorkeling teen and hugged him. Snow is getting closer to central New York. Biden moved to allow hearing aids to be sold over the counter. Wind turbines. A boy used his birthday money to start a food bank, and so much more. A proposal for the city to purchase the Watertown Golf Club, and you can click over on our Facebook icon and go to facebook.com/Watertown365 and see what's happening here as far as the Bad Apple Saloon, and as far as what else is new as in the news area. Flying taxi takes off for the first time. And KC Town, here's what I was really looking for. I was looking for some of our viewer, listener feedback, because I want to encourage you to go to the Facebook page and leave a comment, because we'll read them on air, and that's not just empty promises. And here's my proof for you right now. KC Town is talking about the proposal for the city to purchase the Watertown Golf Club. And KC Town says, when is the proposal going to surface for the massive potholes and crumbling infrastructure, or the crime, homeless, and drug needles everywhere. So Casey has a good point. Why are we putting money into a fancy golf club when there's more important and pressing issues for more lower class people, not the like lower economic class, right? And helping them out. So there's also the Out of Darkness walk in Thompson Park and fire prevention. So go right here and be like Casey. Casey is a good role model because he is speaking his mind, and he's saying, hey, you know, there are people in need. There are people that need like more of this like government assistance and like food stamps and homeless housing, and why focus on this golf club? And so if you want to express your own opinion as well, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Watertown365, and we will see you there, and we will see you next week with more exciting information about what's happening in and around Watertown. See you next week.